Things have certainly been chaotic for the DCEU ever since its inception a decade ago, but over the last 2 years, things have just completely imploded. After the reboot was announced with James Gunn in charge, all we've seen are box office flops and failures. Black Adam, Shazam 2, Blue Beetle, The Flash, and of course, there's one more yet to go before we close out this era in DC films, and that is Aquaman 2. And everything we've heard about this movie, from behind-the-scenes trouble to Amber Heard, to reshoots, to bad test screenings, it's been miserable. And it kind of sounds like the entire DCEU is going to end with a whimper. And we've heard things for months about the bad test screenings, the multiple times they've had to try to re-edit and redo reshoots for this movie. And now we have James Wan, the director, just a few weeks before this goes out, because it gets released, I think, the week before Christmas. So I guess a couple months before this sees theaters. James Wan is out there doing the rounds, doing more interviews, and he's come out to explicitly deny some of the behind-the-scenes drama, specifically all of this shit involving Amber Heard, because that's really where so much of this drama stems from. It's Amber Heard's allegations, what Amber Heard has told her therapist. Amber Heard saying that Jason Momoa tortured me and showed up drunk on set, saying that James Wan didn't want to deal with me, that Warner Brothers didn't want to deal with me. It's all Amber Heard. Oh, I'm a big victim here. All the notes from her therapist that got released. James Wan has come out before and called her out on her bullshit, and it looks like he's doing so again. Aquaman 2 director James Wan denies reports of behind-the-scenes drama. Last week, reports surfaced about the production of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom and some of the drama that was rumored to have gone down. Some of the allegations include Jason Momoa showing up on set drunk and Aquaman and Amber Heard almost being fired, but saved by Elon Musk. There were also reports of a toxic work environment and a ton of reshoots that were done for the film after poor test screenings. Director James Wan was recently asked about these rumors in an interview, and he denies that these reports are true. He says, "I've had to learn to be more zen in dealing with all the noise around me for sure. I'm a pretty private person. I don't get on social media and have fights, but it's difficult because this narrative has emerged that is really not the reality. The noise is fun to write about and it gets clicks, but people don't know the truth. We probably did 6 or 8 days of reshoots, which is nothing for a movie this size. It was just spread out because it's so hard to get your actors back once you finish the initial shoot." But to get back to his statement about the drama, all the drama behind the scenes, this is all coming back to Amber Heard. This is all coming back to Amber Heard's claims. She's the one who's alleging all this. She's at the center of all this nonsense because when she was on trial with Johnny Depp, she came out and made the statement that Warner Brothers wanted to fire her, but instead they just pared down her role. James Wan specifically, once again, in this interview has come out and denied that that had anything to do with the reason Amber Heard wasn't in this movie as much. Aquaman 2 director defends decision to cut back Amber Heard's role in sequel. Speaking in the latest edition of Empire magazine, like we just talked about, James Wan defended the decision for Amber Heard's Mira to have a reduced role in the sequel as compared to her significant supporting role in the first movie. During Heard's defamation trial, she claimed Warner Bros. Cut her scenes, blatantly telling the courtroom they didn't want to include her in the film. Wan admitted it was a fair statement, noting she wasn't in his head while developing the film, but that he had always planned on centering it around Arthur Curry and Orm. Quote, "It's fair that Heard said that about the character being pared down because she wasn't in my head as I worked on this movie. Actors don't necessarily know what we directors behind the scenes are thinking about, but this was always my plan. From the start, I pitched the first film would be a Romancing the Stone type thing, an action-adventure romantic comedy, while the second would be a buddy comedy. I wanted to do Tango and Cash." Now, whether you choose to believe this or not, I guess is up to you. I don't know if cutting back Amber Heard was just because they wanted to focus on it, or if it maybe had something to do with how fucking toxic she became, that people hated working with her, all the Johnny Depp bullshit that went down. They knew she was going to be box office poisoning cancer. They didn't want her on the screen as much. Maybe all those thoughts also went in their head. I don't know. I do know one thing. Warner Brothers has come out and basically denied everything Amber Heard said. They've come out, they supported James Wan, they supported Jason Momoa, they've supported everybody except Amber Heard. I think everybody is starting to understand who the problem is, and it's Amber Heard. Now, in terms of all the behind-the-scenes drama James Wan's denying, I do believe that Amber Heard is lying, just like we've seen her lie before, about so much shit. I have no doubts in my mind that a lot of the stuff is either exaggerated or just straight up made up to make her look like the fucking victim. But once again, you got a director for Aquaman 2 doing damage control for his movie, what, six weeks 8 weeks before it actually releases in theaters. And at the center of it all is Amber fucking Heard. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.